Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video over on the channel. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and review the team of the week and talk about how there are some good investing opportunities this week in it. So team of the week gets split into two different sections. Those sections are weekendly demanded team of the weeks and SBC fodder team of the week. Now when it comes to weekendly demanded team of the weeks, we're not really seeing too much in the current team of the week. Nowadays, it's very rare to actually have weekly demanded team of the weeks, but there are a few in the team of the week. First off, we got someone like Mbappe. Now, I don't think there actually would be much money in Mbappe because the rise would be cancelled out by the panic selling because of the team of the season, so that's him out. Now, the cheaper players, I think there could be a bit of rise in. Do I think it's coin efficient? Not whatsoever compared to fodder at the moment, but it is an alternative investment for whatever reason. Maybe you don't want to buy so many. I mean, they'll be about the same price as fodder anyway, so I don't really know why you'd want to go for them instead. But nonetheless, the weekly demanded cards and the only players that have some level of demand, I would say, are Barella. Barella, time after time, just has demand for him over and over and over again. I mean, his headline is held price, his second in form is held price, and this card shouldn't be too different. Now, he is a little bit reliant when it comes down to Serie A SBCs. We do see some really, really nice spikes with Serie A SBCs. But yeah, as I say, we got the likes of Barella, who again just has consistent demand on this game. So he would be the first player. Now if you're wondering when do you want to buy your weekly demanded team of the weeks, that is always on a Sunday evening. Why is this? I presume it's basically it's the last set of lightning rounds we have until the team of the week is still in packs. Sometimes we get them on a Monday and Wednesday, but in reality, a Sunday evening is the best. And yeah, Barella literally comes down to one of the only weekly demanded cards. Cards like Vasquez, Pickford, they just don't really do it nowadays. There's the chance that that will do well with an SBC, because Serie A centre-backs are completely lacking this year. I don't know why EA's done it, but unless it's an SBC, EA has just not released Serie A centre-backs this year. So I don't think he'll be anything more than fodder initially, but given some Serie A SBCs, and he should actually rise, just as a result of, there being a lack of Serie A SBCs. And then we move on to the bench, and obviously you've got Saliba, who, I'll be honest, I don't think he is weekly demanded, but French League and centre-backs, ones that actually impacts, we don't have too many of. But yeah, I think that'll probably just add to him maybe his SBC fodder price. But obviously we've got Mwepu. Now Mwepu is very, very hard to link. If you've looked at his links, you've got very nicely Future Stars Daka, but apart from Future Stars Daka, which, kind of crazy that we're making the most of his Zambian link, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he really doesn't have much as Brighton, not really pulling in any special cards, and Cucurella, one to watch, not having any good games. But yeah, really, really nice card. Almost Ramirez-esque of this FIFA. But I'll be honest with you, because he is literally impossible to link unless you're building a Prem team, I'm not too sure if he'll have any longevity out of packs, because again, we're going straight into most consistent team of the season. And you guys will know, most consistent team of the season, those players are coming from leagues completely out of nowhere, really. So, yeah, linking like a Danish league player to a Zambian, Brighton player, there's been easier links. So what we'll do with the team of the weeks is we'll start off with the discard ones, and then we'll move our way on to, the high-rated fodder. Now, wouldn't want to go anywhere near Ecuadorian? It'll be, Ecuadorian MLS player, almost impossible to link. Only positives is you'd have Vela, but it's just nothing really. We then get to Leaf Andre. Now, the utility that this guy has for SBCs is English. We've seen a fair few well-demanded English SBCs, and it's kind of crazy, we very rarely get cheap English informs. Well, this way we do have Healy in the league. I believe they're in the League 2 nowadays, and Leaf Andre obviously in the Australian League. I wouldn't really be too keen to go and invest in them, because other than the English link, they really don't have much. They got this guy, Belgian Pro League, nothing interesting. This guy is obviously in the Scottish League. Only problem is Ryan Kent, the demand around Ryan Kent's probably completely died off, and yeah, I don't imagine he'll have any longevity due to links. Jefferson, nice thing about this guy, Brazilian in the Liga NOS. Obviously, got a few Liga NOS links. And Brazil SBCs are quite well demanded. It's a little bit like England, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, Brazil SBCs are pretty well demanded. We look at the current team of the week, no other Brazilians. So you've got that going for him. We then get to Healy once again. Really, his main utility comes in when we have an English SBC needing an English inform. Other than that, no real demand whatsoever due to being in the League 2. Gonzalez, pretty decent. We've got a Serie A right winger. Now, Serie A does have a few right wing fodders with the likes of Chiesa, Lozano, relatively low rated fodder. But yeah, he's not too bad. Obviously, no real weakening demand for him. Yeah, 2-star weak foot, bit of a peg leg. But we got ourselves Gonzalez there. Again, if Gonzalez is one of these guys who is hitting, I don't know, 12k, he's going to be a very hard one to turn down. He, like, I'd say of all the discards, bear in mind, I'm not too sure Saliba will hit discard. If Saliba ends up hitting 12k, that is the investment of the century. But I'm not too confident on that just because of the French League. But if he does, he is the best one to go out to discard because this guy, League of Nations, absolutely sucks in terms of combination to link in. So, yeah, you got Saliba. If not, Gonzalez is going to be the tip player that you're going to want to go all in if they're hitting 12k or under. Now, arguably, I have missed out Gettenhart, but the reason this guy sucks is because he's a left wing back. Right? People who play FIFA aren't the cleverest in the world because... let me just use this as an example. Alright? Like, people do not use left wing back and right wing back players when it comes to SBCs. So, just last week, we had Johnny. Alright? We had Johnny in form. And this guy comes out as a default right wing back. And it's actually crazy, right? So this guy comes out as a default right wing back. People pay 20k in right wing back. But if you convert him to a right back, how much does he sell for? He sells for 24k. Now you may be like, well, that must mean the right wing back to right back is a 4k chem style. It's a 700 coin chem style. But because of the inconvenience of someone being a right wing back, they don't sell as well as if they're a right back. Now, see, Johnny's done pretty well because he's an 83 rated team of the week. There's also no 83 rated team of the week in the current team of the week. And when there's no informs of your rating in the next team of the week, they do really well out of packs. So Gettenhart can work, and he may be, but he will only be as much as the discard informs, unless you position change him from left back to left wing back. And trust me, there'll be money in there. There will be decent money in there. But recently I bought 800 Nuno Mendes's. And I bought them and I was like, oh, I'll position change them from left wing back to left back. And it'll be brilliant. Trust me, the willpower it takes to want to position change hundreds of wing backs is insane. Now, obviously, with the Johnny, I've shown you there's pretty decent money on it. And again, there could be pretty good money on the Gerhardt. I can tell you that people are doing it, who have done it with the Johnny will actually be doing it with him right now because it's very, very lucrative and profitable. It's just quite a painstaking process. But you could argue, isn't any trading method quite a painstaking process? So we now move underway the 84s, and the 84s have come by the many. Last week we had 8 84s. This week I believe we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 this week. So a combined of, 14 across the 2 weeks. They're quite supplied, but saying that, they're not overly cheap from last week. I mean, if I go look at last week's prices over on the likes of Footbin, yeah, I mean, they all went up to 20k even though there are 8 of them. So, if you get the right SBCs, we can imagine they'll go up to 20k. Right now, the current team of the weeks are 20k. I would not want to invest in them unless they dropped to about 16, 17k. Now, when they do drop 16, 17k, your best investment is Vazquez. Why is your best investment Vazquez? Because Navas is the king of 84s. Because Navas is the king of 84s, we can tell that Spanish La Liga right back is a combination that is extremely demanded. And because it's extremely, extremely demanded, we can then carry that through to Vazquez. I can also go and tell you that Diego Lopez is going to be very well demanded. Now, there's a very interesting thing when it comes to La Liga goalkeepers, and that is because there is, you either have very low-rated La Liga goalkeepers or very high-rated La Liga goalkeepers. It's kind of crazy because you go from, your Netos, your Bonus, your Asensios, and then you have nothing between 83 Asensio and 89 Courtois. And then you have 89 Courtois, 90 ter Stegen, 91 Oblak. So there is nothing between an 83 and a 90. And as a result, anything that is between that, which is a special card or an inform, does really, really well. So Diego Lopez will be one of your best 84s because he fits that criteria. And then again, Vazquez does very well because just look at Navas. Navas is probably as much as Vazquez right now. But Nuno Mendes, not very useful because of his League of Nation. Mwepu, League of Nation is absolutely awful. You're not getting any chemistry unless you're using full prep. Let's go through the rest. Solovsky, yeah, he's okay. I mean, we had Lamina last week who hit 20k, so it's, it's proven combo. Brandt, pretty decent. Out wide in forms are pretty decent. When Bundesliga comes to right mids, they don't have too much. The main player is Gnabry, if I'm not wrong. Basically, just have one right mid. So they do have a mid tier or a mid-rated right mid already, but there's that, and yeah, that's all your 84s. We then get in the way of 85, and if we go look at last week, how many 85s did we go and have? If we look at last week, we had 185, and that was Mkhitaryan. I was a bit surprised he didn't do that well for yesterday's SBC, but yeah. So what I said at the beginning of the video was, when you have no inform of a rating one week, sorry, when we have a rating of an inform, like Johnny, and then now that we have no 83 rated informs, Johnny's going to do really well during the week. Well, I mean, we only have 185, because 85s are actually quite a hard rating to get an inform of. Because how the inform system works is, if you are 82 rated, you go to an 84 rated inform. If you're 81 rated, you go to an 84 rated inform. If you're an 83 rated, you go to an 85 rated inform. If you're an 84 rated, you go to an 86 rated inform. If you're an 85 rated, you go to obviously an 86 rated inform. Sorry, an 87 rated inform. Sorry. If you're 84 rated, you go to an 86 rated inform. If you're 85 rated, you go to an 86 rated inform. So basically what this means is the only rating that can turn into an 85 rated inform is an 83 rated gold card. And as a result, it's quite hard for, it's quite hard to get 85 rated informs. Likewise, it's actually quite hard to get 83 rated informs, part why there's none this week and only one last week. Because the only rating that can turn into an 83 rated inform is an 80 rated gold card. Right, because an 81 rated gold card turns into an 84 rated inform, and a 79 rated inform turns 79 rated gold card turns into an 82 rated inform. So there's only one rating that can trigger that card becoming an inform. So yeah, Pickford could do pretty well. Likewise, there's actually a lack of high-rated English players this year. Therefore, any high-rated English team that needs an inform, Pickford would do well. Some would argue, though, if you need a high-rated English inform, probably just not a demanded SBC unless it's like Sir Rashford II or something. But there we got the likes of Pickford right there. So then going to the 86ers. Well, the 86ers last week went down to 26k, and that was the lot. He's only rebounded from 26 to 30k, and the reason he's been quite underwhelming is because it's quite hard to have an 86 rated team that's well demanded. The main teams that are 86 rated and well demanded are Icon SBCs. Other than that, if a player SBC even has a segment that's 86 rated with an inform, that's like 200k. A lot of 200k plus SBCs aren't well demanded. A lot of upgrade packs, they're not hitting 86 rated needing an inform, so I would recommend staying away from these because they're not very versatile. But obviously we've got two right here with David Silva and Bourdieu. Apparently that team is having a great season. Obviously Rennes, but his cards are awful. But yeah, I mean David Silva's gold card normally does really well. So if you get a good Icon SBC, I'd imagine that he'd do well. Again, if you wanted to buy them, you'd be looking around about 25k all consoles. But yeah, sadly they're just not very versatile. It'll go for anything higher rated than an 85. Really, is they're not very versatile, and you can go and buy them, but I wouldn't. You'd make a lot more if you go into anything from 81s to 84s, I'd say. But then we got the two 86s there. We then get to the 87 in the likes of Delit, and last week we had Skriniar, which is kind of a 1-for-1, I'm not going to lie. Skriniar went down to 33, and since has rebounded to 38. I'd expect to see next to very similar trends with the likes of Delit. At the moment Delit is 36 at the moment, so very easily could go down to about 31, 32 during the week, and then we'd imagine out of pack to go up to 38. Now, if he gets a link to anyone as a link SBC, I could imagine him, 45, 50. Because he's had if I'm not wrong, he's actually had an inform before. Yeah, he has. Now, can we see how well this inform has done recently because of SBCs? So yeah, this guy isn't actually SBC fodder. But yeah, he just would have done. I'll be honest, he's been a bit mediocre. He's been a bit mediocre for even though we've had quite a fair few Serie A SBCs. But yeah, because obviously the lot went up to 30k, so he's not really exceeded much more than that. But I mean, this is a second inform, so you'd maybe hope there'd be a bit more demand for him. Now we come on to Barella. I don't think Barella will end up being SBC fodder, just because we had a 88 rated inform last week, and that's likely Jan Sommer. So I think Barella is going to hold on weekly demanded, because Jan Sommer right now, Jan Sommer went down to 41k. At the moment, Barella is 51k. He could become SBC fodder, but I mean, if you're buying 88 rated, they're so inefficient when it comes to investments, because again, the only thing they can be demanded for is icon SBCs. And that's very hit and miss, because you have one chance a week for them to be demanded, and if they're not demanded for that, not very good. But what is quite nice about Varela that you don't have with Sommer is obviously just double down as a week and need demanded. So if you wanted someone who had double utility, aka SBC fodder, and week and need demanded, you've got the likes of Barella. And then finally, we move underway with a Mobley. Now, again, extremely hit and miss, because it literally comes down to icon SBCs or not. Again, we can head over here. Mobley will be comparable to the Navas we got 2 weeks ago. And let's have a little look how Navas did. So Navas went down there to 60k, and I'll be honest, none of the icon SBCs were overly demanded since Navas has come out of packs. And he's gone from nothing more than 60k to 67, minus the tax on that, and you're making 3.5k in a 3.5k profit on a 60k investment on a 1 week hold. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. So I wouldn't recommend going anywhere near a Mobley when it comes to investments, just because again the odds that you're going to get a decent return on investment is going to be very, very low. But that is being the team week wrapped up. Hopefully this video's helped. Obviously I've never really done a team week review, but they're quite easy because I mean I have like 9 years of experience in trading. When it comes to investing in team of the weeks, it's pretty simple. So hopefully my thought process can help you guys. For anyone who just needs a quick overview, so the best cheap and discard investment would be Saliba. I'd be quite surprised if he is discard, so I'd go into Gonzalez. You're looking about 12, 13k right there. Hey, they're not 12, 13k by Friday, Saturday. Just go into just buy them at like 14. The next thing you're looking for would be Diego Lopez and Vazquez of the 84s. Again, ideal price 15, 16. Beggars can't be choosers price, maybe 17, 18. We then will move underway. I mean, other than that, that's where the maximum efficiency is. Other than that, you've got obviously David Silva and Bourgier, potentially as good as each other, but pretty good into David Silva there. And then if you want to go for the weekly demanded players, you've got a small chance of Saliba, Barella, and Mwepu, and actually maybe Delect given the right SBCs. So that has wrapped it up. Hopefully it's helped you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.